Robert, this neurological level of change. Okay, this is another model, a pyramid available for conversations. Okay. Um, Now you remember we did chunking up, chunking down, right? And so this possibility, this in a sense is a way of chunking up, chunking down. Okay. This was introduced by a gentleman called Robert Dills, again a trainer that in the area of NLP, works in a lot of organization development and leadership areas, and he designed this model sometime in the mid 80s. Okay, now essentially the premise of this, now I want you to have a look at this, look at this pyramid. At the top of the pyramid is the purpose, then there's identity, there's beliefs and values, there's capabilities, there's behavior, there is environment. Okay. Now, let's say a client comes in. Okay. I'm going to start with an example so that we can quickly understand what this is. Okay. Let's say a client comes in and says that, look, uh, my workplace is very stressful. Okay. Now, one of the elements to ask around is, what in the environment is making things stressful for you, right? You are picking up current data. You'll ask, of course, where do you work? What kind of environment is there in that? How many people work? And getting data, and what in the environment is making stressful, and what else, and ask what else. And let's say the client says, well, the environment is, one is I'm sitting in a very busy place. There's a lot of noise. I'm sitting in an open area. I'm sitting close to the canteen. But that's not the only thing making it stressful. I have a boss who keeps bothering me every time. Okay. So he, but by the time I'm getting ready to get settled into one task, he comes in and throws another task at my table. And that is really what is getting stressful. And he doesn't seem to understand. So, okay, right? Now you can pick up this. Now, the other element, could be in terms of the person's behavior, right? So what are you doing? What actually what do you think you may be doing that may be kind of also contributing to the stress? You can of course ask them, okay, what else do what else do you do while you're working that may also be adding to the stress? And is there something that you can see that things that you are doing, or the way you're working, the way you're functioning, that may be adding to the stress? And he may say, well, I think I'm not doing enough planning, because I know that my boss is going to come and interrupt me. But, I'm not factoring in time for that, right? That there will be some interruptions, that I cannot pack my day with all the things that I think need to be done. I have to kind of buffer in maybe a couple of hours of activity that may be new and unplanned. Or I think, I'm also catching a train that comes in late. So, I'm losing around for half an hour, 45 minutes. And that then I start my day late, and maybe that is also adding to the stress. Are we getting the drift of what I'm talking about? So we talk about behaviors. Okay. The other element is of skills, right? So you said that you are not planning enough. How well do you know to plan? Do you think, if you were to start planning, do you know how to plan your work well? Well, time management has always been a issue for me. I somehow feel that I get distracted, and I've never practiced planning. So I really don't know how to plan. Let's say he says that. Okay. Or some of the thing also, there are some new activities that have come into into our department, and I find that I'm struggling with it, and I probably don't have enough domain knowledge, and that's also adding to my stress. Or, I have just become this new manager, and they've added these, I've not managed people before, and now I'm having these 10 people that I have to, and I feel that, maybe there's something there. I don't know. I've never led a team before. So maybe it's a knowledge issue, right? Then it is about beliefs and values. Okay. For example, you may ask, okay, um, what is it that, what is it that you said that you don't know this and you've just become a new manager? What do you really, what is that? What is the inner voice in yourself, or what do you believe about your own leadership? What is it that you tell yourself every morning when you get ready for work? Okay, questions like these may say, yeah, every morning I'm telling myself, maybe I can't do this yet. Maybe I've taken on more than I know how to do. What are you picking up? A certain belief and thought process that's going on in the client's mind. Okay. Identity questions are about, so now that you have become this, you are this person who is, this new manager, and, with these responsibilities, how do you see yourself? How, if I were to ask you to describe yourself in 3 words, what would you say? The answers, it may lead to answers like, I see myself as someone who has just been lucky to have gotten this role. Okay. And I tell myself, I describe myself as someone who is too ambitious, and an ambitious guy who just got lucky. Okay. So it may give you a sense of their self-worth, their self-esteem. Okay. And purpose. And okay, so what is it that really you think that you want to achieve in this place? What is it that your larger vision that brought you to this role, that brought you to this job, that brought you to this organization? Now, while I'm saying this, these are different questions. Okay. I'm just giving you an example of questions that can be related to purpose. Now you are picking up levels of information. I just want to be sure all of us are on the same page when I talk about this. There is questions about the environment. There's questions about behavior. There's questions about capability. There's questions about belief. There's questions about identity. There's question about purpose, right? And what is the information that you are picking up when you ask questions at each of these levels? Video. Dr. Jeet, can I request you to come back on video?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you able to see me?
Yes, we can. So,
Yeah.
Dr. Jeet, just state an issue that you want to deal with, okay? And let's have Sarika pick it up.
See, most of the times while working in my college, I expect many things from my people, because see, many times I used to instruct them and I normally set standards, or we can say benchmarks, right? So it becomes very difficult. Not all, but see, very few I find that they are not able to perform those things, right? So I'm worried whether I am not clear in instructing them, or they have some problems.
Okay, Sarika, pick it up.
Okay. So, Dr. Ajit, you work in a school or college as well?
I'm working in engineering college.
Okay, in engineering college. And so you have a feeling that even if you give a proper instructions to your members, they are not doing what you are expecting to have them do.
Yes, ideally not all, but I expect that all of them should do as per expected standard.
Okay.
But I find that few are not doing.
Okay. And how do you actually give these instructions to these people? What is your course of action?
So normally what I do, so most of the times as academics are concerned, I used to set some kind of a target in front of them, right? In terms of performance of students in percentage. And sometimes I talk in terms of deviation, standard deviation sort of thing. Means I used to say that maximum number of students should score more than 80%, right? But I find that for the same class, few are doing excellent for few subjects and few are not doing well.
Okay,
Are you
so
able
you
to
set
understand
the,
my problem?
yes, so you set the targets for them and then you measure them upon those targets,
Right.
right? And so this is, so the targets are for students that you are
No, for teachers.
asking teachers. Okay, okay. And then what are the different skills that you probably use when you are setting these targets or when you're motivating your team for
Okay.
driving this?
So instead of saying skills, what normally we used to do, we used to analyze past year's performance for the same subject, right? So on the basis of past 5 years performance, we set a target for that subject for that year,
Okay,
right? And normally we have set some processes how they should deliver lecture. So what should be the test which should be conducted to analyze whether students are doing well, they are on track or not,
okay. So you have
right?
processes.
Yeah, we have defined some processes.
Do you see any of your other skills which probably will be useful apart from setting processes here?
You mean my skills or teacher skills?
Your skill as a
Okay.
supervisor
Uh,
for them.
yes. So what normally I do, I used to identify teachers who are not performing as per expected standard, and we normally organize faculty improvement programs for them,
Okay,
right? So instead of guiding me, right, what I used to do, I used to call some experts, right, which will just find out any deficit in skills, and they should accordingly train them, right, so that they could improve.
okay. So you have processes, you have trainings in place
Yes,
to
yes.
drive this. And why is it so important for you to
It
have
is,
those targets met?
yeah, for two reasons, right? Students and parents are believing on us, so that's why they are just preferring our college for their engineering education. And I have to justify, in fact, we need to justify their choice. That is one of the thing. And second thing, uh, see, this is reason for our existence. Means if teacher is doing well, right, ultimately portion of their performance will point towards me, right? So I don't want to let me down, right? I have to see that I am doing well in all aspects of my this thing, the work which is assigned to you, assigned to me, and for which I am in this institute. So that is why I feel this is very important for me, for organization, and even for students and parents.
So for you, if I ask, is it like being on top or performing at the top amongst the other colleges is what is driving you?
Ideally not. See, I don't, I will not say that. See, where our institute is in comparison with other institution is not very important for me. I feel that, see, the purpose of my institution being there should serve a public, should serve the stakeholders as a whole. I need to meet their expectations. And ultimately, I feel that if we are giving something good to them, on the basis of that, they are going to lead their life in future. So that's what I have to confirm, that whether I am contributing, my institute is contributing for betterment of a society as a whole in which we are operating, in which we are working. I
So
may not
serving
say
the
that sorry.
Sorry, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I don't mean that I should be number one in India, I should be number one in sort of thing. No. I have I have decided my framework, I have decided my boundaries, and there I have to confirm, I have to just assure my deliverables, my targets, my aims, right? I have to confirm, I have to stick, I have to achieve those things.
So serving the society is, can I say that is something is you looking yourself as or your strongest value here?
Ideally, see, in totality, you may not, or you should not see me as a social person, right? But what I feel, this institution is existed for creating a kind of a positive impact on the society, and that's what we need to do. That's what I feel.
Okay. And creating this positive impact in the society, and then how would you link it to the processes and the trainings that you are doing, right?
Yes.
For
See,
setting up the
yeah,
target.
got. See, positive impact in the sense what? See, engineering course is a terminal course, which I feel, right? Here, this is professional course, and after doing engineering, they are supposed to do something which will help them to survive in their future, to grow in their future, and to support their families, right? This is what I am expecting from, or everybody is expecting from college, right? So I should see that I should just create such a kind of a students who can just get job. They are employable, they should have all the skills which are necessary for getting better job, or if they want to just do some kind of a business sort of thing, so they should be able to do that thing. If our institution is contributing for making them what they expect, so definitely it will just create very good this thing, we can say, atmosphere, or we can say it will support their families, right? It will just assure better living for their families. So if we are working on, suppose, 300 students, so I want to assure that all 300 students are doing well. So ultimately, all 300 families will be getting good livings, right? So in that sense, I'm saying that it is contributing to the society, because if they are well, then definitely their thoughts will be better, and ultimately it will lead to better actions, and definitely it will just help creating good society. So I relate all the things like this. So that's why if I'm doing small contribution by just giving them better education, so that point will definitely complete a circle. That's what I feel. Maybe my understanding may be wrong, but this is what is my understanding. So that's why I feel that each and every component of my institution should perform well. That's all.
So, okay,
So
take a
it's a
pause.
wonderful.
Sarika, take a pause. Okay, so one is, I think both of you are doing great. Yeah. And you're leading up, Sarika, from.
So thought process I just had next. I mean, if I'm closing, I just wanted to tell. So his
Okay,
vision
just go
has
ahead.
two parts. Okay. So one is empowering holistically plus everybody. There are two goals actually. It's not just one goal. He wants to empower people holistically, not just to get job and do things. Plus everybody, all 300 students, then all 300 students should excel. So then mapping of these two goals with whatever skills are being used, right? Processes are being set or trainings are being done,
Yeah.
is missing the correlation for both. I mean,
So, a couple of thoughts. Okay. of how you may want to. And I would really like both of you to do this, continue this conversation, okay, offline.
Yeah,
So
it would be
couple of
nice.
things, Sarika. So you have got the purpose. And if you see at the purpose level, Dr. Jeet has gone into the institution and the purpose of the institution, right? He moved from himself, but really went into the institution and the role, and you're getting a sense of, you try, you also brought in, okay, is this related to some value of yours? Okay. Now the element is also from the institution to also get into, therefore, his identity. Who do you see in this? How would you describe you yourself,
Mhm.
the role that you play? Okay, so get a sense of that identity. Who are you in this, right? Dr. Jeet, I
Right.
see him nodding his head. It's making sense for him, right? And
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
say,
It is actually. Sarika madam asked very nice questions. In
right,
fact, it started this
absolutely.
thing, a kind of a process in my mind.
Yeah, because your eyes were going up and you were really starting to look at the bigger ideal, right?
Hmm.
Now, once he has got that ideal of the institution, and then you start now bringing back to the personalizing it to say, okay, who are you in this? And how does this link to your bigger goal of life and purpose, right? So he may come up with that, then bring it to, so now how do if you look at it, therefore now, if you look at it overall in terms of what you're doing or not doing, right? What is it that you seem to be doing well in terms of achieving those, and what you're not achieving? So get him again to start. You see, he has to also start now, um in a sense, he has to start using his own personal scanner to start saying, okay, I seem to be doing this. So you're bringing him awareness at a behavioral level, right? And then also say, okay, what else do you think? Also depersonalize from time and say, what else do you think the institution can do in order to achieve this bigger goal, right? So then you're not just talking process, Sarika. You're
Hmm.
talking about what else can happen in that environment, because then
Resources.
you're also, yeah, resources, environment, place, and he'll say, yeah, maybe this environment, the environment doesn't have this, or environment doesn't have that. See, there'll be lesser resistance when you'll say, okay, maybe I need more resources for this, maybe
Hmm.
I need more budgets for this, so the institution can do this. Again, then come back and personalize, what is it that you can do in that, and so get down to behavior, and then talk about capability, right? So it's a dance between all these levels. It doesn't have to be sequential,
Sequential. Yeah.
but constantly looking at and getting a sense of, is the client going into a deep reflective state? Are they willing to also ask him, what would it, also look at this whole, when you look at identity or even the purpose, when they talk about what is it, how does it look at in terms of your own role, also get into how will that make you feel. So get into the feelings, associate to the feelings of the person,
Yes.
and then say, so what is the feeling right now? Okay. And then say, okay, so what will make this feeling go for you, or shift from this to that? What are the things that have to happen in the environment? What are some of the things that the institution needs to start doing? What is it you need to start doing? Bring up knowledge. Are we all seeing that dance between different levels? And great job, both Sarika and Dr. Jeet. He was really getting into the situation. And Sarika, you
Yeah.
were really flowing with the questions. Yeah, you were really flowing with the
I,
questions. I could see that you had really kind of put yourself out there. Sorry, you want to say something, Sarika?
no, no, I could literally feel his passion towards that goal.
Absolutely. And you were bringing it to his values. And the only risk, if you just go directly into process, back to say,
Hmm.
okay, what will happen in the process? You see, he's talking, the institution has to do this,
Yeah.
process has to do this. Everything is out there. Okay. And he may come up with a couple of more ideas, but it's not, it will need to get, you'll have to kind of bring that stickiness element into his values, his goals, his identity, and his emotional play. Dr.
Yeah.
Jeet, are you getting a sense of that? Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. By
Because
all means, I'm just getting sense, and
yeah,
I'm trying to
because that
think.
is, yeah, absolutely, Sarika, because that is where the resistances will dissolve.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah,
The resistance will dissolve. There's a deep connection that you both are dancing together then, right? And you're just nudging and creating, opening up new windows, and the person is saying, okay, it's safe to go there. It's not coming from, oh, because otherwise the client will go, but I've already done these things. You don't want them to go into that spiel of, let me project myself, because as a senior leader, then one is projecting, okay, I've done this, I've done that, right? You have to, you just dissolving those resistances and letting them from a space of their inner purpose, their inner identity, their inner values, the emotions they want to feel.